Merle on the move, got the flow so smooth. Spitting rhymes on the podcast, got nothing to prove. He's the host with the most, dropping knowledge every week. From the underground to the mainstream, making the street speak. Step on the stage, Merle grabs the microphone, holding it down, he's in the league of his own. Interviews with the legends, the up and coming stars. No topic off limits, pushing the bars. Merle on the move, taking over the game. Keeping it real, never fake, never tame. Hip hop podcast, bringing the heat. With Merle on the mic, grooving to the beat.
Welcome to the Merle on the Move show. Welcome tonight, everybody. Very special night tonight. Iowa State football, 6-0, baby. Yes, 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 yes. There's a round of applause for that. Yes, 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 yes. So I'm very happy this evening that Iowa State is 6-0. First time they've been ranked this high since like early 1900s. So shout out to Iowa State football. Everybody knows that Iowa State basketball has been a favorite in this area for years, but the football team has not been. Football team has not been the number one focal point in basketball or sports, I should say. I'm sorry, in Iowa. So I'm very excited and very happy that they are, and I've been following them, and I'm a big fan. That's why I'm wearing the Iowa State gear. You know, got the hoodie, got the lid. You see it? Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. You know what it is. So welcome to the program. So I am rolling the move, and tonight I got a very special show. Shout out to everybody that's listening. I appreciate all the subscribers that's tuning in. Make sure you like, hit that notification bell. You know what's going on with Merle all the time. Dropping weekly. You know what it is. We got some special guests going on. I'm gonna be doing some vlogging, so I'm gonna be doing some of these videos I'll be doing here in the future. Will be outdoors on locations and stuff like that. So if you're looking for more sponsorship and stuff like that, will be added to the video. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. So today, like I said, Iowa State football, Iowa State won. They beat West Virginia 28-16. Very, very good game. Iowa State starts off slow. It's been known that West Virginia jumped on them real quick with 7 points. But I watched the game and I said that Iowa State will come back towards the end, the middle, second quarter to third quarter. They get going, and they did. Got a turnover when we needed it. Defense, both sides of the ball, looking really good. They can run the ball. The receivers are big, can catch the ball. Got a big tight end. Rocco, the quarterback, is playing really well. I'm very excited. The program is shout out to Matt Campbell. Gilbert lives in Gilbert, Iowa, the neighbor of Ames. Shout out to him. He really built a great program. He's got some great coaches, defensive coordinator, his receivers and running backs coach. Every year he's got running backs and receivers making it into the league. So shout out to Matt Campbell. Dion is playing. Colorado's playing right now. That game is currently going on, and they're down 14-17. Dion better step it up. They're playing Kansas City. It's a Big 12 game, divisional game. So conference game, and Iowa State is in that one. So Iowa State is right now ranked number 11th in the nation. So I'm expecting them to move on up to maybe 7. It'd be so sweet. Shout out to Iowa State. I got to get one of those guys on the show. So let's go ahead and move on to our NFL football's going on. I'm not happy about the Rams. Not happy about it, but it's bye week, so we're going to move on past them. Cowboys play big. They got a game coming on. They playing tomorrow. That's who they playing. Who is the Cowboys playing tomorrow? I think it's a 3:30 game, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, I don't know who they playing. Anyway, computer's moving a little slow. I wanted to get into basketball season. Bronny coming up. Bronny, he's been playing in preseason. Him and LeBron. It's not been looking good. It's not been looking good. Bronny hasn't been producing anything. It is preseason. I'm not expecting him to really play in the league. I don't know if you guys are or not. You can comment. Let me know if you think Bronny should be playing with his dad right now, or should he be in the league, in the D League or G League, whatever they call it right now. I don't know if they're calling it the G League or whatever, but I don't know. I don't know the way it's looking right now. To me, he should be in the G League. I haven't watched any of the games. I've seen some of the highlights. I've seen some of the people talking. I haven't really watched Bronny play, but I don't know. I'm still a great feat. I'm happy that he's in position to play with his pops. I think that's a very dope situation. But that being said, like I said, I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and move on to let's talk about the Hurricanes. So yeah, move on. Let's go to baseball before I move on to that. So baseball, you got the Yankees and Cleveland in the ALCS, and you have the Dodgers. And who are the Dodgers playing? The Mets. You got the Dodgers and the Mets in the NLCS. So my predictions are going to be the Dodgers and the Yankees. Got to be a great World Series. The Yankees taking it all. My predictions. Shout out to Merle. But let's talk about the Hurricanes. So we had two hurricanes since I've been on the air. You had a Hurricane Helena, and then you had this latest hurricane, Hurricane Milton. I don't know why they name these hurricanes and they don't name tornadoes, but uh, I guess there's a reason, these tropical storms or whatever they called it. But my condolences to the families and the people who lost loved ones and lost and suffered any injuries. My heart goes out to you. I understand loss. Just yesterday, a year ago, yesterday, I lost my mother. So yeah, property and cars and buildings can be replaced. Clothing items can be replaced, but loved ones cannot. So those who lost loved ones, my condolences are to you in those storms. So the government, been a lot of conspiracies going on. Marjorie Green, Taylor Green, she's a congresswoman, something like that, out of Georgia, and she's talking about the government is creating these storms, and they're the ones that are pinpointing the storms on the southern coast. Like, it ain't been going on forever, but and now weathermen are being threatened and stuff like that. Now the weatherman don't never predict the weather right. They always wrong with the weather. We always say that the weatherman. I don't know how the weatherman got the job because he's always wrong with the weather. But the weatherman is not pinpointing the pinpointing. He's not pinpointing the storms that come hit certain areas of Republicans and voters like that. Now, it is being reported here on CNN that some of the because voting has started. It's 22 days. 22 days to the election. November 5th is the election. So presidential election November 5th. 22 days. It's getting close. But so voting, mail-in voting, and early voting has already started. And they're saying because of the Hurricane Milton that some of the voting, the mail voting, has been lost. Did you hear what I just said? Let me. Did you hear what I just said? Snoop Dogg. Did you hear what I just said? They said some of the weather been lost. Some of the mail been lost because of the weather. Votes. This elections. These, I was looking up. I was looking up. I don't mean to sidetrack from the storm, but let's talk about elections. I was looking up the what is it called? The electoral college. That is the electoral college is very confusing. And if you don't understand the electoral college, if you don't understand the system and how the voting, because people think that the popular vote picks who the president is, and it totally doesn't. Totally does not pick who the president is. It's the electoral college. Your vote picks how many delegates or how many electoral votes you get, electoral people, college, whatever it is, nominees in that state. If that state, that popular state votes all Democrat, then that state gets all those electoral votes, college votes, whatever it is, for that state, right? But each state has a certain amount. Like if you got a big state, you got a certain amount. If you got a small state, I don't know. You got to look it up. Go to YouTube. It's hard. It's very confusing. It's very very confusing on the system. So, uh, Kansas State is up 21-7 on Colorado. Deion might lose this game, but this election, the United States is the only country, democratic country, that uses this system, and it was in place because of the 3/5 law. And with the southern states and the northern states didn't want it back. Excuse me, after the Civil War, the southern states, the southern population was a lot less than the northern population. I'm gonna explain the 3/5 law to you guys a little bit. I might even put a clip in here to try to explain the 3/5 law. Matter of fact, I am. I'm explaining the 3/5 law a little bit from my perspective, and then I'm gonna put a clip in here and let you guys see a little bit about it, and then I'll get back to it. But so insert the clip. Here I am back to it. The 3/5 law, in my perspective, is that the North had a lot more people. The population of the North was a lot more of white people that owned land. Because to vote back then, you had to be white, male, and you had to own land. Women and minorities and couldn't had the right to vote. So that being said, if in the South it was less landowners, it was more land, big, people owned a lot of property, but it was less landowners. So, but it was a lot more slaves. So the South wanted all of the slaves to be counted towards the vote. That way they can keep slavery and they can keep things the way it is because they have more representatives going towards Congress and they can keep the laws the way it is. The North didn't want that. They didn't want the slaves to be counted as equal because of that fact. They didn't want it to change. They didn't want the status quo in the South to be the way it was. So the North had a compromise, the 3/5 compromise, where every slave in the South would be counted as 3/5 of a man, or as 3/5 of a vote, basically. And the South agreed to it. And that's how Thomas Jefferson became president. You can look that up too. Thomas Jefferson wouldn't have been president of the United States if that hadn't happened. But so it was like the North was trying to do something good by saying that, okay, well, we're not gonna let y'all count the black people as whole, because then y'all would just keep, because they didn't have slavery in the North and they did in the South. Anyway, it's a long story. So I'll put the clip in there, maybe you can understand more.
To understand how the Electoral College works, we first need to go back to when the system was created, during the Constitutional Convention of 1787, and the compromise they made for how to elect a president. Some were worried about the public choosing a leader, believing everyday citizens were uninformed about political issues. Others wanted to make sure Congress didn't pick the president either, to keep those branches of government separate. So they came up with a system of electors appointed by each state, independent from both people and politicians who cast their votes instead. Each state's share of electors is determined by its number of seats in the House and Senate, and since states' House seats are based off population, so are the electoral votes it gets. That's where slavery played a role when the system was developed. See, the South had a larger population than the North, but a smaller share of voters because slaves couldn't vote. But the South wanted more political power, so they came up with the 3/5 compromise. Slaves were counted as 3/5 of a person in population counts, which gave Southern states more electoral votes. Fast forward now to today, where we still use the Electoral College, of course, to pick a president. There are 538 electors across the country. A candidate has to get at least 270 of them to win the presidency. So, why does our vote matter if electors are the ones picking the president? Well, most states, except for Nebraska and Maine, have laws requiring that all of their electors vote for the candidate who wins the state's popular vote. That means even if a candidate wins a state by just 51%, all that state's electoral votes will go toward that candidate. This kind of winner-take-all method means that the national popular vote can be different from the Electoral College vote, which has happened 5 times through history. Notably in 2016, when Hillary Clinton won almost 3 million more votes than Donald Trump nationally, but lost the Electoral College. And in 2000, when Al Gore won the popular vote, but lost the presidency to George W. Bush. Recently, 15 states and the District of Columbia joined the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. They're pledging to give their electoral votes to the candidate who wins the national popular vote, rather than the person who wins the popular vote in their state. But this won't take effect until enough states adopt it, which so far hasn't happened.
Back to it. I hope you guys did understand that clip too when I get done with that. This election is very vital. It's very important. It's a lot of false information. I do want to know more about Kamala Harris's tax plan. I watched President Obama's speech he did on the PBS when he was out campaigning for Kamala. Very good. Former President Obama is a very, very, very intellectual, uh, passionate speaker, and he tells stories so well. And he was bashing Trump, and he was on Trump, and what he was saying was the truth. He didn't tell not one story, one lie. He didn't fabricate anything. You know what I mean? Now, people that's gonna vote for Trump regardless. It's no way you convince them not to. But overall, if you are on the fence, if you are a person that's like, I'm not quite sure where I want to go with my vote, listen to him. He if President Obama, if Barack Obama was running against Trump right now, it'd be no chance. He don't want no smoke with Obama. Flat out, period. He don't want no smoke with Obama. Flat out. I watched it. He is charismatic. He's still the man. He's still the man. You know, he's a little bit out of touch, a little bit, but he's still the man. You know, Kamala is next up. But if Trump is going against Obama, no cap, he be out of there. So that's anybody, almost anybody. That's why I don't understand why the Republicans still got Trump up. But so now Meghan McCain, it says Fox says right here, Meghan McCain gives final warning after Harris invokes late dad. I will start spilling tea. So this is what Fox News said. They always got some bull crap up. But so now Meghan McCain, who your dad, who Trump been dogging your dad forever, said he was a loser. Said he was because he got captured, that you know what I'm saying, he wasn't no great American, all kind of stuff. Your dad didn't like Trump. He thumbs down the deal when they was trying to get rid of something. I think past the January 6th thing. Anyway, and now you trying to speak up for him. You trying to get some headlines, Megan, because you ain't on The View no more? Shout out to The View. Shout out Whoopi. So Trump also, speaking of Trump, I'm all over the place. I'm sorry, y'all. So now Trump is on record now calling out Whoopi. Trump calling out Whoopi. He's trying to say Whoopi got a filthy mouth. He hired her to back in the day, hired her to work at a casino that he used to run in Atlantic City to do some comedy, and it was really raunchy and things like that. And yeah, and she admitted, yeah, that's what I was a comedian. That's what I did. You know, and she said, and I did it 4 times. You paid me well and you enjoyed it. You came out and talked about it. So what's your beef now? What you talking about, bruh? Shout out to Whoopi standing on it. She stood on it. You know what I mean? It's what it is. And I tell you, people be, so Trump, he just, bro, what's your issue? Like I said, and I'm not a Trump basher. And people may think that I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a registered Democrat. I'm a registered independent person. I'm a 2A all day. Taxes, but tax the ricks, bro. I need to keep my taxes. I don't believe in big governments. I like my privacy. But that being said, I do believe in helping people, and I believe in people first. And Trump don't have a plan. After he got the first assassination attempt when he got shot in the ear, I was hoping he was gonna come out before he picked his running mate. I was hoping he could have picked out what's my girl out of South Carolina, that was his running mate that didn't back out to the end. Nikki Haley. I was hoping he's gonna pick Nikki Haley. You know what I mean? Because I liked her. And if he'd have picked her and he'd have came out with some of the rhetoric, if he wouldn't have been pushing that, if he'd have been like, you know what, that happened, I got a chance to unite the country. I'm going to really try to put my best self first and cut out some of them lies, man. I would have been rocking with Trump. You know what I mean? But he's steady. He ain't got no plan. He just talk about a rhetoric. He backed the wrong people. He say the wrong things. Where's his daughter at? His daughter ain't out talking about it. She was the only one that kind of made sense in his family because Don Jr. is whack. Eric is whack. But people listen. People like this daughter. She ain't out. Her and her husband ain't out supporting Trump. So I don't know what to say about it. Where we at? It's just people going to vote for him because they just don't like Democrats. And it's like now, and they trying to say if you're Democrat, it's just trying to put it's red and blue, it's Crips and Bloods. It's just you know. So let me say something about geofencing. I've been looking up geofencing, and shout out to Google. I know a lot of people say that the internet providers and cell phone companies and big tech is giving all your information away, but Google, I know for a long time that police departments, if they couldn't find out, they can watch this on E&E too. If they couldn't find any evidence, if it was a crime committed, and they didn't have any leads. I should say, not find evidence. They didn't have any leads and any witnesses on the crime. These detectives would contact Google and ask for cell phone information, and they would look for random pings and find out who was in the area, and maybe this person fits the profile just going off the ping of the cell phone being pinged in that area. And Google is saying that they're not going to be doing that. They're coming up with some kind of scrambling kind of code, so they won't be able to not only will they not be doing it, they won't be able to do it. So the government can't force their hand. Shout out to Big Tech doing something, right? They say we're trying to ban TikTok too. Yeah, they still trying to ban TikTok. So if you don't like TikTok, they finna get rid of it. If you do like TikTok, guess what? They finna get rid of TikTok. Eventually, they're gonna try to get rid of it. They gonna try to get rid of all of them. That's why they're trying to go into other. That's why Meta's trying to invest in video games and other things like that. So, anyway, TV shows, movies. I'm watching From. Finished Powers over. Great finale. I'm also watching this new Marvel show, Agatha, something like that. She's a witch. You guys check that out. I watched a couple movies, can't think of them right now. That series, Fight Night with Kevin Hart, ended. That series, it was 8 episodes, very good. Enjoyed that so much. Shout out to Kevin Hart, he did a very good job on that series. Sam Jackson is my number one act, my favorite actor of all time, hands down. If you want to know, is Samuel L. Jackson. Sam Jackson is my number one actor of all time. So, yeah, that said it. Anything else? I don't know. Some other things I probably want to talk about. I like, I keep things moving. Anyway, studios turning out. Got a new camera here, got new angles going on. So, yeah, like I said, I'll be checking out. Shout out to that dude Biggs. His concert is coming up. So check me out. I might be tuning into that. Shout out to Body Bag Gutter. You know, so I might be posting some of his videos because I know he's performing there. So Big's World, that's coming up in Des Moines. So anyway, it's Merle on the move. Y'all stay tuned. I'll be dropping some more stuff up, some little clips and everything. I might do a little reel here shortly. Not lately. Anyway, it's Merle on the move. Be a good human. Put humans first. Peace.